Hey guys, I'm making this video about updates to the 23andMe family tree. For the longest time, they kept saying that they were adding new features and that they were coming soon and all this bunch of stuff. Well, now supposedly we have it. But here's the thing. The tree still sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong, for like close family, you can figure things out, get people in the right place, great, perfect. But when you go further out, number one, it won't let you go past, or it doesn't let me go past, I believe it's my second great-grandparent. And here's the kicker. A lot of people that it automatically throws in my tree are like, a bunch of them are like third, fourth, fifth, sixth cousins. Okay? And unfortunately, sometimes it will throw those people, not only does it throw some people on the wrong side of the family tree, it also throws some people under the wrong doggone person. Okay? Then it sticks that person, like, let me just show you for instance. Let me see if I can find her. Okay, right here. I have a great-grandmother who was an only child. She had 0 siblings. It was just her and her parents, okay? Well, 23andMe has thrown her in my tree as having siblings, a bunch of siblings. So, what I have had to do is, at first, I tried different ways to try to work the tree to where I could, put them in the right thing. Because, see, her parents had plenty of siblings. Because they belonged to the Newmans and the Sherums, okay? So, especially the Newmans. There was a bunch of Newmans from her line and everything, okay? So these siblings that this tree has got her as having actually probably belong to her mother or her father, okay? More than likely her mother, from what I understand, okay? But it won't let me put these siblings where her mother is. It won't let me add to her mother that way I could move these up. Because see, like, all right, let me see if it will do anything with her. Okay. All right. What you do is you click on the person's name, and then you go over here and you click on more actions. Okay. When you do that, it will let you either add a partner or a child, add a sibling or a half sibling, or move the person. Okay. But here's the thing. If I move her, it will mess up the tree. Okay. So, I mean, it just doesn't work. But yet, when I go up to her parents, like her mother, for instance, and click on more actions, okay, normally it would not let me insert like a generation above. Let me go to somebody else, because just the other day, it would not let me insert a generation above anybody. Let me see. Let me go to this person, William A. Patrick. Let's see. Well, what do you know? They finally, let's see. Okay, well, finally it's letting me insert a generation above some of these. I'm shocked. Okay, but as of the other day, it would not let me do that. Like, it stalled out on the second great-grandparent, and you could not add nobody else, or at least on my tree. It would not let me add anybody else above or change anything. So here I am with it showing my grandmother as having all these siblings that she did, or my second excuse me, I'll get it right in a minute. My great grandmother, okay, as having siblings that she did not have, okay. So now that I see that they've actually changed it up a little bit, maybe I'm going to be able to add a parent for her mother and then move these siblings up over to her mother's side where they belong, okay, either her mother or her father's, instead of her, because they're not her siblings. And these people coming down from these people, they're not coming from her siblings. So they're coming from her aunts and uncles. Okay, so, wow, I'm shocked because, as of the other day, it was not letting me do that. Like, it just completely stalled out at the second great-grandparent and just would not let me add anybody else above them. So I had all these cousins, these, distant cousins and everything, and it has them listed under these people that I know darn well that's not right. It's not, because I actually have a family tree on Ancestry.com that I put a lot of effort into, and so I kind of know where some of these people actually belong on that tree, and this tree just totally had it wrong, and it just messed everything up, and it was just like a big mess. So now that I know this, let me check this. Let's see, let me go on over here, because I definitely want to change the whole Warren thing, because it had it messed up in the Basshounds. Let me see if it will let me add a generation above that. Well, what do you know? Yep, it's saying it's going to allow that on that one. Wow. Okay, so that means I can go back in here and put these people back in here like they were before, and then move on up from them, and then that way I can take these people that are wrongly stuck up under them and then move them where they belong as far as the Warrens and all that, because it totally had that completely wrong. It had the Warren people up under the Basshounds, even though the Basshounds are kin to the Warrens and the Stags and everything, but they had them on the wrong generation. It's just all messed up, and so I'm going to have to go in and fix that. So, yay! I'm glad they finally have that fixed, I hope. Let me see. Let me check this one too. See if I could. Yep, it's going to let me do that for that. Let me go ahead and just click that so that I can go back in and see if I can fix this mess. Thank God. It's about time. Okay, so yeah. So I was going to give more of a negative review this time, but now it looks like I can. Okay. Now I can actually say something positive. Yay! Okay, guys. Well, as you can see, you've heard it from me that now you can finally actually add. I don't know how far up they're going to let that go. Let me check and see. Let me go up above this person that I just added and see if it will let me. Okay, so I probably would. It's not going to let me put anybody up above them. As of right now. I guess maybe after I fill in the information, and maybe in a month or two, it might let me move on up a little bit more. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, this tree is just a little more kooky, and I'm not happy with how it's structured. I really think they should have done it differently, but at least as long as they start letting people, even if it's a slow process, if they start letting people add generations above and then start putting people where they rightly belong, eventually people will have their trees right. But as of right now, I do not trust this tree as far as comparison with other relatives. Because it's just not, in my opinion, it's not accurate like it should be, and I don't really see how it can really be used right now, because they don't let other people actually see your tree. You can't really communicate that well with it. In other words, if you haven't already done research somewhere else on another tree to truly figure out where people belong, this tree is useless. Okay, it's crap. So you really have to research elsewhere so that you kind of know truly where some of these people belong. Especially, guys, if you have someone who's kin to you on two sides or more of your father or your mother's or both side. Like, I have some cousins who are kin to me on both sides of my father's family, okay? Like his mother and his father, okay? I also have relatives who are kin to me on my mother and my father's side. So it kind of messes everything up. So in my opinion, they need to set a tree up to where you fill in what information you actually know about your family and allow you to do your research, and then do like Ancestry.com does and let you, it will kind of start matching things up compared to DNA and the information that you've already put into your tree. 23andMe has done it backwards. I've said this before. They just went ahead and, like, whatever few people you initially started out when this tree first started, okay, you could only go up so far. I think you could go up to, like, your grandparents or whatever. It started out with a different type of tree anyway, okay. So you put that information in, okay. Well, then they just automatically just threw people on whatever side, and there you were, and it was completely wrong and inaccurate. It even had cousins that were DNA, like my first cousin, once removed or something like that. It actually had them listed as like a third or fourth cousin on the actual tree. It had them thrown way the heck on over. Even if it had them on the right side of the tree, it still had them underneath the wrong doggone person, and just had it totally messed up. And the DNA didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, it was messed up. And I'm like, how the heck did they do that? So yeah, I'm not a fan of this tree, but as long as they let me move on up slowly but surely and try to work it out, eventually, maybe, collectively, us folks out there can get this tree right, but it's going to take time. And like I said, it's going to take research elsewhere to get the real deal on who you really are kin to and on which side they go, as far as the level of DNA or the person that they're coming from, blah, blah, blah. You might want to do your research elsewhere to figure that part out, because it may have them completely thrown on the wrong side underneath the wrong person. So yeah, I don't like that. Don't assume what you don't know. I mean, that's, that's how I look at it. But anyway, so yeah, this is where I'm at with my 23andMe tree. So I just thought I'd give you guys an update on it. So yeah, I learned something new today. So yeah, slowly but surely. Talk to you guys later. Bye.